Okay, hello all you crazy people out there. My name is Stupid, and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. Okay. Is this time for... Okay, this is at the hatchery. Give me a moment, I want to get to another decision point. Okay, so I'm doing the thing where I deliver stuff to the hatchery, or I think it's the hatchery. And I'm talking to Kevin, and he's another one of the ones who I can meet with, I think, for just one meeting. By the way, Katsuhara doesn't have an entry in the status log, does he? He does not. Wait, who died? Did Ipsum die? Who else was that? I can't remember. Ipsum, please don't die. Okay, anyway, I think Kevin is like Katsuhara and that you can meet him once, and I just wanted to make note of this so that no one's surprised if I end up doing it later as a bit of a space filler. Alright, carry on. Okay, here we are, and I can meet with Adine and Kevin. Obviously, I want to make sure I do not miss a chance to talk to Adine, and if I have time later, I will speak to Kevin. Okay, that must be her. All right, Adine, what's going on? Are you ready to go? I can't wait to see everything the festival has to offer. I'm sorry if I came across that way, but I don't think we'll actually have much time to take part in the festivities. Oh, really? Yeah, I'll have to... The music just changed. Why? It's not like foreboding music or anything, but... Huh. I guess it's like festival music. I'll have to spend most of my time at the competition grounds. We'll arrive there early so I can check in and do my warm-up. And I'll still have to stick around after my performance to wait for the award ceremony. Well, I guess you won't have to wait for me. You can see the rest of the festival if you wanted to. That's out of the question. I'm here to spend time with you. The festival is not that important. Besides, we can always see everything once on one of the other festival days. True. We could even watch the big fireworks show at the end. Yeah, I've heard about that. Everyone keeps telling me how important it is for me to see. It's not that important, but if you have the opportunity, you really should go. I'm not sure if I'll be able to attend, but I'll gladly accompany you if I have the chance. Sure, so today's agenda is emotional support, and next time, we can take in all the aspects of the festival. Sound good? Good. Alright, let's go. Let's see. Okay, we're here again. Is Katsuhara here? Or is he in a different part of the park? It took a while for us to arrive at the festival, which had already begun by this point. The last of the booths that lined the way were still being set up, but dragons of all shapes and sizes were already pouring in. Instead of walking directly through the festival, we stayed outside the established paths, heading towards the stage where the competition was going to be held. Eventually, we arrived at a rather large open-air area near the facility that had been roped off. At one corner of the building, a few flyers had already gathered. Maybe you should wait here while I get my number. Why? People might get the wrong idea if you show up in the registration line. Very funny. Besides, they certainly stare and start asking all kinds of questions. Alright, I'll just stay here then. I'll be right back. After Adine had waddled off to the other flyers, I surveyed my surroundings idly. Beyond the big open area, seating had been provided, and I could already see a few people waiting for the competition to start. A few had even gathered on the roof of the building to watch from there. I'm back! Is that your number? She held up a piece of cloth with a large number painted on it. A few straps were hanging from it. What's this? No! No, of course not. This is Bananasaur's number. Sorry. Sorry for the mistake. I'm one of the last to start, actually. Are we late? No, I guess the others just arrived earlier and had more time to get things ready. What do you think about the other competitors? I've seen most of them fly before. Some are really, really good. It doesn't seem like many are newcomers here, so right now, I'm the odd one out. Maybe you could use that to your advantage. How so? Well, you know more about them than they know about you. Having a promising newcomer might throw them off their game. This isn't like a contact sport, right? Phone! No, I don't want to hear it. Okay, so I accidentally hit the green button on my phone to pick up the call when I meant to hit the red one. I hope that doesn't send a signal to the scammers that I want to receive more scam calls and that my phone is going to be ringing off the hook for the rest of the week, because that has been known to happen. God, I hate having a telephone. Alright, where was I? I'm not so sure about that. After all, it's not as if I was already choreographed. It's not as if any of our already choreographed performances would change based on what others do now. Each of us tries to just do their best. Yeah, like I said, it's not really a contact sport or anything. Or even, I did cross-country, and I wasn't on the varsity team or anything, but the varsity team did have strategies based on, like, how they knew the other varsity team runners like to, like, pace themselves and that kind of thing. That does not apply here. Most of them are seasoned flyers, so they already know how to deal with that kind of pressure. If anything, I'm the one who might get nervous and mess up. I do have one advantage, though. I'm still pretty young, and this is a spot with a great amount of wear and tear. The beach was the one with the great amount of water. There comes a certain point in time where you just can't perform as well as you used to. Many complicated maneuvers can only be performed by younger athletes. The older ones can make up for that by using their experience and with better execution of easier moves. In the end, a daring newcomer like me could surprise the audience and the judges with something new and unexpected, which is exactly what I plan to do. How good do you think your chances are? With a bit of luck, I might even be able to win. This is just a local competition after all. But you know what? I'm just being here right now and performing in front of so many is a win for me. People will know me, and I'll probably get a mention somewhere in the local paper. I've trained for years, and my application to compete finally got accepted. Now I just have to make the most of it, and I'll be happy. I can still hardly believe that I'm here. This is the moment that I've worked so hard for. And I'll be watching you. Oh, stop it. You're making me nervous. Sorry. Can you help me with this? She spread out her wing, and only then did I notice that her shoulder joint was tightly bandaged. What's this for? It's just a training bandage to bandalize. That is not what that says. It's just a training bandage to stabilize my shoulder after that little blunder you witnessed last time. We can't fly with these in the competition though, so I'll have to take it off. Okay. I opened the bandage, carefully unwrapping her wing. There you go. She spread both her wings, beating them a few times. I couldn't help notice that the previously bandaged wing was sagging noticeably compared to its counterpart, as if it was misaligned. That doesn't bode well. She seemed to be examining her shoulder, somewhat lost in thought when I spoke up. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, of course, why wouldn't I? I can see you're straining without the bandage. I'm fine, really, don't worry about it. If you're fine without the bandage, how come you were wearing it just up to now? Did you need it for practice, too? If you couldn't practice without it, maybe you aren't ready to compete without it yet. Since when are you suddenly an expert on flying? I'm the one who's been doing this for years, not you. This is my dream we're talking about. Do you want to see them... Do you want them to see you in this condition and judge based on that rather than when you're at your best? I have to try. What if something goes wrong? You don't want to be in that position. If I start making excuses now, maybe I'll never stop. I'll always be too nervous or too injured or didn't eat right the day before. I feel bad enough as it is. Right now I have a chance to do this, and if I don't take it, maybe I never will. I'll always just be a server and delivery girl making minimum wage. Is this one chance really too much to ask for? No, but it doesn't have to be right now. There'll always be next year. Stupid. Stupid. Brooklyn Dodgers. They've never seen you compete before. If you fly now, they'll judge you based on this performance. You only have one chance at making a first impression, and you know it won't be your best if you fly right now. If it's not good enough, maybe they won't invite you back next year. If you fly now, they won't accept any excuses. But if you tell them that you're injured, they might let you fly another time. But I don't want to wait another year. I want to do it now. I trained so much, even with this injury, and you tell me I should just let it go. I just can't help thinking about last time. If you crash like that again, there's no sand here to cushion your fall. It could be much worse. See, that's the part I'm concerned about. You think I don't know that? That I'm not already worrying about this any more than I have for anything else? I just don't want to make excuses anymore, and my ability to read without tripping over the words is starting to go downhill, so maybe I should take a break after this. I never actually ended up going to get food after the last video, because I just wanted to keep reading. And, it's probably about time I actually do that. I don't want to wonder if I'll ever amount to anything more than just a waitress. I want to be able to follow my dream, and I don't want to wait another year to find out. What about Emily? If something happened to you, how do you think they would explain to her that you just suddenly stopped showing up, huh? Don't you dare bring her into this. She has nothing to do with this. This is gonna lead to a bad ending, isn't it? Like it or not, what you are doing could have consequences, and there are others besides you who will be affected if something goes wrong. You know what? I'll fly and I'll do the best damn job I've ever done, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Before I could reply, she angrily stomped off towards the building where, by now, a number of contestants had arrived. While I had failed to convince her, at least I could say that I had tried my hardest to stop her. I asked myself whether I even wanted to watch the competition at this point. It was possible that she'd do even better than expected, but if my experience was any indication, her performance would just not turn out well. In the end, I decided to stay and watch from the sidelines. I didn't want to join the rest of the audience as I was sure it would get unwanted attention. After the competition started, I lost myself in thought, thinking over the conversation I had had with Adine while watching the other contestants half-heartedly. Adine had been right. Some of them were really good, but based on what I had seen in her practice session, she did have a shot at winning if it went well for her. Even though my rational mind doubted that would happen, for her own sake I hoped it would. One by one, the contestants showed off their skills in a variety of moves, usually followed by the applause of the audience. Eventually, it was time for Adine's turn. Next on the stage is number 11, a promising newcomer who will show her skills to the public for the very first time in her debut performance. Please welcome Bananasaur. There was an excited bout of clapping. The audience was always curious to see a newcomer on the stage. However, after a few seconds passed, Adine still hadn't emerged. An awkward silence set in, and as the audience applause stopped and everyone sat down anxiously, waiting for her to show up. She never did. After a minute or so had passed, the announcer's voice once more echoed across the arena. My apologies, it looks like number 11 will not be flying today. Next up is number 12, a certain veteran you may know from his somewhat unusual technique. Before I could even ask myself what happened, I saw Adine walking out of the building and coming towards me. Adine, what did you do? Let's just go somewhere else. Okay.